Good morning and welcome to A Culture Life. This morning I am replanting this alocasia, which according to the greenhouse, my neighbor got this and they were getting rid of plants, so I picked this up from them because they were throwing it away. According to the greenhouse, this is a pothos, which the pothos is the large group of plants, and then the alocasia is the species. Um, now, alocasias like tropical soil, which tropical soil is soil that is more easily uh, draining soil. It's not doesn't easy compact. So this soil has perlite in it. The white pieces are perlite, which that's I just learned out recently. That's lava. Um, Baked down or something along those lines. And then this is coco coir, which helps to give drainage. Now if you notice in this pot, here's bark. A lot of tropical plants like bark because it helps to give drainage to the pot. But in this little pot, I'm not planning on putting any bark in, and it has enough bark in there already since it's just going to be a small pot. Now they say whenever you plant pots, pot plants, you want to find a pot that is not too much bigger than the pot that the plant is already in, because you don't want to give it too much shock. The reason being is if you put too much dirt in a pot, like if you choose a larger pot, too big compared to the pot that it's in currently, there's not going to be enough of a root system to draw out the moisture when you water it as quickly as it needs to, and it could cause root rot. It could just cause the plants to wilt more, the leaves to wilt more, and just be unhealthy. So you want to be able to, when you plant a pot, you want to find a pot that is a little bit bigger than the pot that it's in currently. And they say that ceramic pots are good for, or glazed pots are good for plants that like their roots to be a little bit more wet. They don't like to dry out too quickly. And then terracotta is good for plants that don't like wet roots. Like this snake plant, they like to be more dry. And terracotta does, because there's no glaze on it. It does tend to allow the plant to dry out a little bit more, but I don't see a huge difference. I see a bigger difference in pots that are smaller. The smaller the pot, the more you're going to have to keep an eye on, and the more you're going to have to water it. So whenever I pot a plant, I always find one with a draining hole. And this is a mesh. I put a mesh on the bottom, and then I put I like to put stones on the bottom because that helps to give the pot drainage. So right now these stones right here are from an aquarium that my daughter was using, but we got it to put on the bottom because it was supposed to be good for the fish, but it ended up tainting the water, so we're not using that for the aquarium anymore. I'm now using it for the plants. And then I put charcoal on the bottom because charcoal, that draws any toxins from the roots of the plants. So, and then I'm going to put this mixture in a little bit that has the coco coir, the potting soil, and the perlite in it. I'm going to put some of that bark in there. I'm not going to need to put too much soil in because it already has a good amount of soil in the pot. So I'm just going to get this out of here and repot it and add in the soil. And then, oh, I got some of that root. And then this soil was already wet from a rain the day before. I might add a little bit more in there, a little bit more soil in there later on, just to give it. I like to bring it up to maybe about there, so that it keeps the water in when you water it, but you want to give it a good amount of soil so it gives room to grow. And then, so I'm probably going to water that then to give it some good, because you always want to water your plants, and you don't want to add fertilizer to your pot when you repot it, because the plant, if you're using fresh soil, the fresh soil has fertilizer in it already. And then I always put more stones or pebbles on the bottom of a tray, because that helps to give the plant air, and whenever you drain it, so it doesn't suction to the bottom. And then it also makes a little tray so that when you water it, there can be a little air, there can be a little moisture system where the moisture goes up and keeps the plant from drying out. So that's basics of how I repot a plant. Thanks for visiting A Cultured Life, and I hope you have a good day.